Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. What if I told you the biggest revolution in American history hasn't even happened yet? Throughout its history, America has been shaped and reshaped by waves of technological revolution. The Industrial Revolution turned a young agrarian nation into an economic powerhouse, building factories, railroads, and cities that changed how Americans lived and worked. The space race in the mid-20th century not only pushed science to new frontiers, but also united the country with a sense of ambition and purpose. Then came the internet boom, which connected the world, transformed economies, and birthed new industries practically overnight. But now, we stand at the edge of something potentially even bigger: artificial intelligence. Unlike past revolutions, AI doesn't just change how we build or communicate. It has the power to change how we think, how we govern, how we work, and even how we define being human. In this video, we'll explore how past tech revolutions shaped the American identity, economy, and global influence, and why AI might be the most profound transformation yet. We'll look at the promises and perils, the lessons of history, and the big question: will America lead the AI future or be consumed by it? Let's dive in. America's rise to power was not just political or military. It was powered by innovation. Each major technological leap rewired the fabric of the nation. It began with the Industrial Revolution. The invention of the steam engine transformed everything. Factories sprang up, turning raw materials into goods at unprecedented speeds. This sparked a shift from rural, agricultural life to urban industrial centers. Cities expanded rapidly, and with that came both opportunity and chaos: urban poverty, child labor, and grueling factory conditions. But it also laid the foundation for American economic dominance. The electrification era marked a profound turning point in American life, fundamentally reshaping society through the spread of electricity and the rapid development of communication technologies. At the core of this transformation was not just the ability to power machines or light homes, but the revolution in how information was transmitted. Relationships were built, and communities were formed across space and time. Electricity itself introduced a new rhythm to daily life. For the first time, homes and cities could be lit after dark without relying on gas lamps or candles. This extended the functional day, enabling longer working hours, safer streets, and more vibrant nightlife. Factories could now operate with greater efficiency and consistency, driving productivity and altering the landscape of labor. Entire industries emerged and evolved with the harnessing of electric power, setting the stage for the modern industrial economy. However, the broader societal impact of electrification lay in what electricity made possible, particularly in the realm of communication. The telegraph was the first breakthrough technology that used electricity to transmit information. Before the telegraph, messages took days or weeks to reach their destination. The telegraph collapsed time and distance, enabling near-instantaneous communication across the continent. This was especially transformative during the Civil War, where it became a strategic tool for military coordination. For the first time in history, national leaders could communicate directly and in real time with military commanders on distant battlefields. Abraham Lincoln, for example, made use of the telegraph to exercise centralized command, an innovation that helped shape the modern presidency and military structure. Beyond the battlefield, the telegraph created new business models, facilitating the rise of national markets and financial institutions that could operate at a scale previously unimaginable. The invention of the telephone took this a step further, by allowing voice communication over distances, fundamentally altering both personal and professional relationships. It eliminated the delay of written correspondence and allowed for the nuance and immediacy of real-time conversation. In business, deals could be negotiated and decisions made on the spot, speeding up commerce and improving coordination. On a personal level, the telephone helped sustain emotional connections across distance, fostering a greater sense of intimacy and immediacy. It also contributed to the growing sense of national connectivity, as individuals no longer felt as isolated from distant relatives or colleagues. Radio added a new and powerful dimension to communication by broadcasting sound to a mass audience. Unlike the telegraph or telephone, which connected individuals or small groups, radio had the capacity to reach millions simultaneously. It became a unifying cultural force, bringing news, music, sports, and serialized dramas into living rooms. Across the country, in times of crisis, such as during the Great Depression or World War II, radio was a critical tool for national leadership. Franklin D. Roosevelt's fireside chats used the intimacy of the radio to speak directly to the American people, providing reassurance and fostering a sense of collective identity during periods of uncertainty. The radio also became a vehicle for propaganda and public influence. Governments, advertisers, and cultural institutions used the airwaves to shape public opinion and promote specific messages. In this way, radio didn't just transmit information, it actively shaped the social consciousness of the nation. People began to experience national events together, in real time, which contributed to the development of a shared cultural experience. This mass communication helped blur regional differences, creating a stronger sense of national unity, even as it introduced new concerns about the manipulation of public perception. Together, these technologies forged a new era of interconnectedness. The electrification era didn't merely make life more convenient. It redefined how people lived, worked, and understood their place in the world. It brought a previously unimaginable speed and scale to communication, laying the groundwork for the information age and setting the stage for every major technological innovation that would follow. In doing so, it reshaped the American identity, moving it toward a more integrated, fast-paced, and media-saturated society. World War II acted as a powerful catalyst for technological and societal transformation in the United States. In times of total war, innovation becomes a necessity, and the stakes of survival and victory push scientific discovery and industrial production to new limits. The war mobilized not only armies but entire economies and research institutions, leading to breakthroughs that would reshape both the battlefield and everyday life in the decades that followed. During the war, the U.S. invested heavily in science and engineering. Radar technology, for instance, became crucial for detecting enemy aircraft and ships, giving the Allies a significant strategic advantage. The development of radar required rapid advancements in physics, electronics, and manufacturing, all of which had long-term applications far beyond the war. Another major innovation was the use of early computing machines, such as the ENIAC, which helped perform complex calculations for artillery trajectories, and later played a role in cryptography. These early computers laid the groundwork for the digital revolution by demonstrating the potential of programmable machines. Perhaps the most world-altering development was nuclear technology. The Manhattan Project, a secret wartime effort, resulted in the first atomic bombs, ending the war in the Pacific, but also introducing a new era defined by the threat of nuclear annihilation. While the immediate legacy of nuclear technology was one of destruction, its peacetime applications, nuclear power, medical imaging, and scientific research would later become integral parts of the post-war world. Yet the end of World War II did not simply mark the cessation of conflict. It ushered in a period of unparalleled economic expansion and societal change. One of the most influential policies of the era was the GI Bill, officially known as the Servicemen's Readjustment Act of 1944. This legislation provided returning veterans with access to higher education, home loans, and vocational training. Millions of men, many of whom would never have had the chance otherwise, attended college, acquired new skills, and entered the workforce as professionals, engineers, and technicians. This sudden influx of educated labor fundamentally changed the American economy, shifting it toward high-skill, high-tech industries. As veterans returned home, they sought stability and prosperity. This demand led to a housing construction boom, with developers like William Levitt pioneering suburban communities that offered affordable homes to middle-class families. These new suburbs represented more than just physical spaces. They embodied a new vision of the American dream. Owning a home, driving a car, and raising a family in a safe, clean neighborhood became central ideals for a generation. The suburbs also became hotbeds for consumer culture, as households began to fill with modern conveniences like televisions, refrigerators, washing machines, and other time-saving appliances powered by the post-war economy's industrial capacity. The growth of a stable middle class during this period was unprecedented. For the first time, a large segment of the population had both disposable income and access to mass-produced goods. This consumer base helped fuel further innovation and production, creating a cycle of growth that defined the American economy. Throughout the 1950s and 1960s, the auto industry boomed as families bought cars to commute from suburbs to cities. Highways expanded across the country, transforming transportation and commerce. Shopping centers and entertainment venues followed the population out of urban centers, signaling a shift in cultural and economic power toward the suburbs. This era also set the stage for the Cold War, as scientific and technological prowess became essential to global dominance. American society increasingly valued education in science, technology, engineering, and math, driven by the belief that technological superiority would ensure national security. Government funding for research surged, further embedding innovation into the national identity. The post-war tech boom wasn't just about gadgets and economic metrics. It redefined what it meant to be American. It created a society where upward mobility seemed attainable, where technology was seen as a force for good, and where the average citizen could aspire to a better, more comfortable life through hard work and innovation. The legacy of this era still shapes modern America, both in its optimism about progress and its dependence on technology as the engine of prosperity and power. Meanwhile, the Cold War turned innovation into a global competition. The space race, with the Soviet Union, drove advancements in rocketry, satellites, and computing. Every launch in orbit wasn't just science, it was a political statement, reinforcing America's image as a leader of the free world and a technological superpower. Each of these eras reshaped the American experience, how people lived, worked, communicated, and viewed their place in the world. But as monumental as these revolutions were, none may compare to the changes AI is about to bring. The digital revolution didn't arrive with a bang. It crept in through wires, screens, and code. But its impact has been no less transformative than steam engines or rockets. It started with ARPANET, a military project during the Cold War, designed to create a decentralized network that could survive a nuclear attack. What began as a defense initiative evolved into something nobody fully foresaw: the Internet, a global digital nervous system. By the 1990s, the dot-com boom turned this once niche technology into the backbone of the new economy. Websites, search engines, and e-commerce exploded onto the scene, shifting industries and giving birth to entirely new ones. Communication was turned upside down. Email replaced letters, smartphones put computers in everyone's pockets, and social media, from MySpace to Facebook to TikTok, didn't just change how people connected. It redefined relationships, culture, and even identity. The world got smaller, faster, louder. The rise of big tech marked a new era in which technology companies didn't just grow in size or profitability. They became influential forces that shaped entire global ecosystems. Companies like Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Apple, and Meta, formerly Facebook, went beyond mere business enterprises. They became integrated into the fabric of everyday life, reshaping how individuals interact with the world, how businesses operate, and even how countries relate to one another on the global stage. Silicon Valley emerged as the epicenter of this transformation. What was once a region known for producing semiconductors and hardware became the global leader in data-driven innovation. The Valley's influence was grounded in its ability to leverage data about individuals, behaviors, preferences, and trends, and turn it into business gold. The shift from traditional manufacturing industries like steel or automobiles to data-driven economies wasn't just a change in the type of products being produced. It represented a fundamental shift in the structure of global power. Data became the new currency, and the companies that controlled it had unprecedented leverage over economies, consumer habits, and even political systems. Tech companies not only offered services that revolutionized communication, commerce, and entertainment, but they also became essential to the functioning of modern life. Microsoft's Windows software dominated personal computing, Google became synonymous with search, Amazon transformed retail, Apple reinvented mobile technology, and Meta created entire virtual social worlds. These companies grew rapidly, often scaling their influence globally in ways traditional corporations never could. With such dominance came immense power, and it quickly became apparent that their influence extended beyond mere commercial interests. They began to shape politics, culture, and even geopolitics. On the one hand, big tech facilitated remarkable advancements. The internet became an open platform for free expression, commerce, and education. People could communicate with friends and family across the globe, shop from the comfort of their homes, access vast amounts of knowledge, and even find entertainment personalized to their tastes. Businesses and entrepreneurs could scale globally in ways that were previously unthinkable. The power of technology allowed societies to innovate and grow in ways that had been unimaginable just a few decades before. But this technological advancement also came with its own set of dilemmas, the most profound being the tension between privacy and convenience. The allure of free services offered by big tech often obscured the underlying cost: personal data. Social media platforms, search engines, and e-commerce sites gathered immense amounts of personal information about their users, information that, over time, could reveal intimate details about individuals' habits, preferences, relationships, and even political beliefs. In exchange for using these platforms, people willingly, or sometimes unknowingly, traded their personal data, enabling these companies to create highly refined algorithms that could predict, manipulate, and optimize user behavior. Smart assistants, like Amazon's Alexa or Apple's Siri, could help with tasks like setting reminders, playing music, or adjusting smart home devices. But they also listened in on conversations, raising concerns about surveillance and data privacy. Smartphones track users' every movement, from location to browsing habits, enabling companies to tailor ads and content with staggering precision. Algorithms designed to curate our online experiences, whether through social media feeds, online shopping, or search results, learn from every click, like, and share, constantly refining themselves to predict our desires and behaviors. In some ways, these systems know us better than we know ourselves, based on the vast amounts of data they collect and process. This new dynamic raised significant questions about the boundaries of privacy. How much are people willing to trade for convenience? The ability to search for anything, instantly order any product, or connect with anyone at any time seemed invaluable, but it came at the expense of personal information. The concept of privacy became increasingly blurred, as users often did, not fully understand how their data was being used or the long-term implications of such information being collected, stored, and monetized by powerful tech corporations. The debate over privacy versus convenience became a critical issue, as individuals weighed the benefits of digital convenience against the risks of an increasingly transparent and surveilled existence. Tech giants found themselves in the uncomfortable position of balancing their growth and profitability with rising concerns about privacy and security. Calls for regulation grew louder as the public began to demand more control over their data and greater accountability from these companies. However, the sheer scale and reach of these companies made regulation challenging. Governments were often slow to catch up to the pace of innovation, and tech companies' lobbying power and global presence allowed them to influence policies in ways that entrenched their dominance. This tension between privacy and convenience has become a defining issue of the digital age as big tech companies continue to expand their influence. The question now is whether a more equitable and transparent relationship between tech companies and users can be established, or if we are doomed to a future in which convenience continues to erode privacy, and our digital lives remain open books for companies to read, analyze, and monetize. As big tech continues to evolve and expand its reach, this dilemma will only grow more pronounced, and how society chooses to address it will shape the future of digital culture, economic power, and individual rights, and that influence runs deep. Algorithms now guide what we watch, who we follow, what we buy, and sometimes even how we vote. We've seen how digital manipulation can sway elections, impact mental health, and polarize society by reinforcing echo chambers. The same tools that connect us can also divide us. The digital revolution didn't just change the economy, it reshaped the architecture of human thought and interaction. But as disruptive as it's been, it's still only the precursor to the next wave. The age of AI isn't coming, it's already here. The AI age is not a future fantasy. It's already unfolding, and its implications are profound. First, let's break down what AI is. At its core, artificial intelligence refers to machines or software designed to mimic human intelligence, learning, problem-solving, and decision-making. This is done through machine learning, a subset of AI, where systems learn from data and improve over time without being explicitly programmed. Neural networks, inspired by the human brain, enable AI to handle complex tasks like recognizing speech, images, and even generating creative content. Some examples of AI in action already include ChatGPT, like the one you're interacting with now, capable of generating text, answering questions, and assisting in various tasks. Tesla's self-driving cars use AI to navigate and make decisions on the road. DeepMind, Google's AI research lab, has created systems capable of mastering games like Go and even making breakthroughs in medical research. And Midjourney is revolutionizing digital art creation using AI, generating stunning visuals from text prompts. The rise of artificial intelligence, AI, is ushering in a new era that mirrors some of the disruptive changes brought about by the Industrial Revolution. In the 18th and 19th centuries, machines replaced many manual labor jobs, transforming industries like agriculture, textiles, and manufacturing. Today, AI is poised to impact a much broader spectrum of the workforce, particularly in fields traditionally dominated by white-collar professionals. From finance and marketing to customer service and journalism, AI is already taking on tasks that were once the domain of skilled workers, prompting concerns about job displacement and the future of work. In industries like finance, AI-driven algorithms can now analyze vast amounts of data to predict market trends, automate trading, and even offer personalized financial advice, reducing the need for human analysts and brokers. In marketing, AI tools are capable of automating ad placements, content creation, and customer outreach with incredible precision. Customer service has also been transformed by AI-powered chatbots and virtual assistants, which can handle everything, from answering basic queries to troubleshooting complex issues, all without human intervention. In journalism, AI is already writing basic news articles, such as sports scores, stock market summaries, and even breaking news stories based on available data. This wave of automation raises a critical question. Is AI a tool to augment human capabilities, or is it a replacement for human labor altogether? On one hand, AI has the potential to enhance productivity and efficiency. It can process information far faster and more accurately than humans, performing tasks that would otherwise be time-consuming and error-prone. By handling repetitive or routine tasks, AI can free up human workers to focus on more strategic, creative, or complex endeavors. In this vision, AI is seen as a partner that enhances human potential rather than a competitor that eliminates jobs. However, there is a growing concern that AI could replace large numbers of jobs, particularly those in white-collar sectors. Many of the tasks currently performed by office workers, analysts, marketers, and journalists are increasingly within the reach of AI systems. As AI becomes more advanced, it is not just limited to automating routine tasks, it is also capable of performing more sophisticated work, such as legal analysis, medical diagnostics, and content creation. This could lead to significant job displacement, as workers in these fields find themselves replaced by machines that can perform their tasks more efficiently and at a lower cost. The fear of job loss is compounded by the fact that AI is developing rapidly. While some technological advancements take time to implement, AI's capabilities are evolving at a pace that outstrips many workers' ability to adapt. Training programs may struggle to keep up with the demand for new skills, and many workers could find themselves unemployable without significant retraining or a shift to entirely new careers. As AI begins to infiltrate even high-skilled, well-paying professions, the economic implications of widespread displacement become more dire. Workers in fields like law, medicine, or journalism may face a future where their roles are no longer necessary, or where they are relegated to lower-level tasks that machines cannot perform. There is also the issue of inequality. The benefits of AI could be disproportionately felt by those who own and control the technology: large corporations, tech companies, and investors. Meanwhile, workers whose jobs are displaced could struggle to find new employment opportunities, particularly if the job market is flooded with people trained for roles that no longer exist. This could exacerbate existing economic inequalities, further concentrating wealth and power in the hands of a few. In the worst-case scenario, large sections of the workforce could be left behind, without the skills or opportunities to transition to new roles in the AI-driven economy. While some argue that AI will create new types of jobs, this is far from guaranteed. Historically, new technologies have often led to the creation of new industries and jobs, but the scale of disruption brought by AI could be different. The pace of AI's development and its capacity to replace human workers in a wide variety of fields may outstrip the ability of the economy to generate new types of employment opportunities at the same scale. Moreover, many of the new roles created by AI, such as those in AI development, data science, and machine learning, require highly specialized skills that may be inaccessible to the displaced workforce. Society will need to adapt to these changes in a way that ensures the benefits of AI are shared more equitably. This could involve massive investments in education and retraining programs to help workers transition to new roles, as well as social policies like universal basic income or other forms of economic support to help those whose jobs are displaced. Governments and businesses will need to collaborate to create a future of work where AI is an enabler of human progress, rather than a force that leaves millions behind. The rise of AI represents a turning point in the history of labor, much like the Industrial Revolution did. How society responds to this challenge will shape the trajectory of technological advancement and the future of work. If AI is managed responsibly, it can be a powerful tool for human flourishing. But if left unchecked, it could deepen divisions, displace millions of workers, and fundamentally alter the nature of work in ways that we are only beginning to understand. But with great power comes great responsibility. Ethics in AI is already a hot topic. There's significant concern about bias in AI, where systems trained on biased data can perpetuate inequality, particularly in hiring, law enforcement, and healthcare. Surveillance is another growing issue, as AI enables more sophisticated methods of monitoring and controlling populations, raising privacy and human rights concerns. And then there's the potential for misinformation. AI-generated deepfakes and fake news could make it harder to discern truth from fiction, undermining trust in institutions. One of the most critical issues is inequality. Could AI make the rich richer and the poor poorer? Or could it be the great equalizer, democratizing access to information, healthcare, education, and more? It's a battle of possibilities, and the direction we take will shape society for generations. Lastly, AI is reshaping the global balance of power. The AI arms race is well underway, with nations like the US and China vying for supremacy. The stakes are high, not just for technological dominance, but for geopolitical power. Cyber warfare, fueled by AI, is a new frontier in international conflict. The rise of AI-powered deepfakes and propaganda means that information manipulation could become a weapon of mass influence, further complicating global relations. As we enter the AI age, we're facing a new frontier of both possibilities and risks. How we harness AI today will determine what kind of world we live in tomorrow. As AI continues to evolve, the way it shapes America's future will be just as revolutionary as the industrial and digital revolutions before it. The potential of AI to revolutionize education is profound, especially when considering its ability to personalize learning for each student. In traditional educational systems, students are often expected to learn at the same pace with similar instructional methods, regardless of their individual needs, learning styles, or starting points. This one-size-fits-all approach leaves many students behind, particularly in underserved communities where resources, teachers, and educational support are scarce. AI could be the key to breaking this mold and offering a more individualized, accessible, and equitable educational experience. AI-powered tutors and learning platforms could completely transform how students engage with material. These systems can adapt in real time, tracking a student's progress, identifying strengths and weaknesses, and adjusting lessons accordingly. For instance, if a student is struggling with a particular concept, the AI could provide additional explanations, offer practice problems, or adjust the difficulty level until the student masters the material. Conversely, if a student excels in a subject, the system can provide more challenging material to keep them engaged and progressing. This kind of personalized, adaptive learning could accelerate educational outcomes, helping students learn more efficiently and deeply. One of the most exciting aspects of AI in education is its potential to bridge the opportunity gap. In many rural areas and underfunded schools, access to qualified teachers and educational resources is limited. Teachers often juggle large class sizes, and students may not receive the individual attention they need to succeed. AI can step in as a scalable solution, providing high-quality educational content and support to students regardless of their location. With AI-powered platforms, Even students in the most remote areas can access lessons, tutoring, and resources that were once unavailable to them. This could democratize education, leveling the playing field, and offering every student an equal opportunity to succeed, no matter their geographic location or socioeconomic background. Furthermore, AI has the ability to continuously collect and analyze data on each student's performance. This could enable early intervention for students who are falling behind, allowing educators to tailor their approach in real time. AI could also help identify gaps in learning that might not be immediately obvious, allowing teachers to address them before they become insurmountable. With AI handling the data collection and analysis, teachers could spend more time focusing on personalized interactions with students, rather than administrative tasks or rote teaching. Another important benefit of AI in education is its capacity to foster deeper understanding. Traditional education often focuses on rote memorization and standardized testing, but AI-powered platforms can encourage active learning and critical thinking. For example, an AI tutor might guide a student through a problem-solving process, asking probing questions that encourage deeper reflection. Or it could present concepts through interactive simulations, gamified experiences, or real-world applications, helping students see the relevance of what they're learning. This type of engagement could lead to a more profound and lasting understanding of subjects, as it caters to diverse learning styles and encourages students to take an active role in their education. However, for AI to truly close the achievement gap, it's crucial that these technologies are accessible to all students. Accessibility isn't just about having the hardware and software in place, it's also about ensuring that these tools are available to schools, communities, and families who need them the most. If AI-powered educational platforms are primarily available in wealthier districts or private institutions, they could deepen the divide between privileged and underserved communities. In order for AI to fulfill its potential as an equalizer in education, there must be concerted efforts to make these tools available to students in low-income, rural, and underfunded areas. This also means addressing issues like internet access, device availability, and digital literacy. Many students in underserved communities may lack the basic infrastructure to take full advantage of AI-powered education. Bridging this digital divide will require investment in public infrastructure, such as broadband internet access, and efforts to provide affordable devices and training. Governments, schools, tech companies, and nonprofit organizations all have roles to play in ensuring that the benefits of AI in education are widespread and equitable. If these challenges can be overcome, AI could indeed offer a transformative solution to closing the achievement gap. By providing personalized, accessible, and engaging learning experiences, AI has the potential to give every student an equal shot at success, regardless of their background, location, or resources. This could create a future where educational opportunities are not determined by where a child lives or how much money their family has, but by their abilities and drive. However, this vision can only be realized if AI is made available to all students, with a focus on inclusivity and equitable access. Without this, the technology could inadvertently reinforce existing inequalities, rather than dismantle them. The promise of AI in education is immense, but it must be approached with care and consideration for its potential social impact. But what about democracy and governance? AI's role here is complex. On one hand, predictive analytics powered by AI could help lawmakers make more informed decisions, leading to better policy outcomes. AI might also streamline government operations, making them more efficient. However, there's also the potential for AI to be misused, such as in predictive policing, where biased algorithms could unfairly target certain communities, or in digital voting systems, which could be vulnerable to hacking or manipulation. AI in governance raises a serious question. Could it help strengthen democracy, or will it undermine it by concentrating power and decision-making in the hands of those who control the technology? This is a crucial question that America must confront as AI becomes more ingrained in public life. AI's impact on society and culture is also profound. AI-generated media, whether deepfakes, virtual celebrities, or even AI artists, is already challenging traditional ideas of authorship and creativity. Could human creativity thrive in a world flooded with AI-generated content? Or will it be drowned by the sheer volume and ease with which machines can create? There's also the growing concern that AI-generated content could be manipulated for harmful purposes, from misinformation to emotional manipulation. Will we be able to distinguish human-made art from machine-generated creations, and should it even matter? In terms of a new American identity, AI might force America to rethink what it means to be American in the 21st century. Will technological nationalism rise, with countries leveraging their AI advancements as a source of power? Or will global collaboration become more important, as the challenges of AI, such as ethics, regulation, and the economy, require collective action across borders? The role of ethics in AI will play a pivotal part in shaping America's future. How will the country regulate the technology to ensure it benefits society and not just corporations or the government? Finally, civic responsibility in the age of AI becomes crucial. As individuals, we must remain vigilant, ensuring AI serves humanity's best interests and doesn't inadvertently cause harm. And as citizens, it's our responsibility to advocate for regulations that ensure ethical AI use. The future of America in the age of AI is not only about technological progress, but also about our collective choices. How we shape and use this technology will ultimately determine what kind of society we live in. America's future in the AI age is a canvas waiting to be painted. Will we create a society where AI serves to elevate and unite, or will we let it divide and exploit? Only time will tell, but it's up to us to guide this revolution toward a future we want to live in. Every major leap in technology has rewritten the story of America. From the steam engines that powered the Industrial Revolution, to the electrification that lit up the nation, to the internet that connected us all, we've continuously redefined what it means to live, work, and dream in America. Now we're standing at a new frontier: artificial intelligence. And just like those revolutions before, this one isn't just about machines, it's about us. How we regulate, use, and respond to AI will determine whether it lifts us to new heights or pushes us into uncharted and dangerous territory. So here's the question I'll leave you with. Will AI be America's greatest achievement, or our last great mistake? Let's talk about it. Like this video if you found it eye-opening. Subscribe for more deep dives into tech, history, and the future. And drop a comment below. How do you think AI will reshape America? The revolution is already here. The real question is, what will we do with it?